Ooh. My bum doesn't hurt anymore.
You're welcome.
He fixed my bum.
I fixed your bum.
Ben Bix fixed my bum. What a glorious day to have a bum that works.
Isn't it nice?
Isn't it nice to
Isn't
have
it good?
a functional bum? I mean, there's a strong contender for episode title straight out of the gate.
Straight out of the bum.
Straight out of the bum. That's where I get all of my nutrition. Straight out of the bum, y'all. Ben, have you got any hopes and dreams for the immediate?
He eats shit.
What? Who does?
You do. Because it's from the bum.
Oh yeah. You got any hopes and dreams for this episode? It's okay if you don't.
I hope that we pull out good questions.
Yes.
And dream that we answer them concisely, sensibly, and in a way that benefits all that listen.
And what are your hopes and dreams for people who aren't listening right now?
Burn.
Just burn. Burn in the...
Burn in the bum.
I hope you have a dysfunctional bum. That's the conversation at Promise. Functional bums to all that listen.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Ben, we have a sponsor once again, which is very exciting.
Ooh.
Today's sponsor is Fnetishgraw.
Fnetishgraw.
Brackets, whatever you want it to be, close brackets. Fnetishgraw. I can spell it if you want.
I don't.
You don't.
Of course I know how to spell Fnetishgraw.
Fnetishgraw. Yeah, you're saying it a little funny.
Fnetishgraw.
It's more...
Oh, sorry, it's more like Fnetishgraw.
Thank you so much for trying. Fnetishgraw. What does Fnetishgraw have for our listeners?
Fnetishgraw?
Yeah.
What doesn't it have?
That's also what I'd like to know.
I mean, if you've got a dicky body, it'll help you out.
Yes, it will.
If you've got a bad knee, fixed.
Yeah, it will.
Fnetishgraw.
Fnetishgraw.
If you that guy you like,
Ooh.
that you'd never think's gonna notice, Fnetishgraw is gonna take off your glasses, pull down your hair,
Yes.
and then it'll be like a whole movie makeup department has spent an hour on your face.
It's the sexy nerd.
Squashing the face. Not putting makeup on, squashing it in. So you'll be concave and like a spoon. He will see himself reflected, but slightly different, and that will intrigue him.
Yes,
and
it will.
then you will fall in love and be forever.
You'll be forever.
You'll be forever.
Honey.
It also has honey.
Yes, that's true.
Because of all the bees.
Because of all the bees it makes, yes.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
You can get it as a salve.
You can cross an ocean in it.
In the salve, you can build because it's conical, like a spoon or your new face. You can climb into the Fnetishgraw Salve dirigible and float your way across the ocean. In 1972...
Days,
Captain Cook snailed,
yeah.
the ocean grew.
That's how they got across, because they were very small back then, so they'd hollow out snails and
Yes.
paddle with
You don't need to hollow out snails anymore because you've got the Fnetishgraw Salve, which you can form a dirigible in.
And that's why the French have escargot. You're welcome, France.
Excess snails. It props up the European snail trade.
Also known as the snail trail.
Now which is how they get the snails from continental Europe to mainland China through the snail trail. It used to be guarded by the Mongols, and now it's just snails. It takes a long time because it's sticky. But of course, the downside of the abundance of Fnetishgraw Dirigible Salve is we've got all these immigrants from continental Europe coming over in the small Fnetishgraw dirigibles, taking our jobs.
The great thing about Fnetishgraw is that it helps you immediately acclimatise to any place you're in. Very much like the Babel fish or the TARDIS. Instant understanding of the language, all the customs, you're just bang straight in there. You're shouting at, you come to England, you're shouting at the football, drinking warm beer and eating roasts all the time.
And for the busy business immigrant on the go, you can get the Fnetishgraw vocal spray. So if you're out and about and you need to top up, you just need to localise and acclimatise a little bit more. Just Fnetishgraw right into the back of the throat, and you'll be yelling at the arsenal like every other dickhead. Fnetishgraw. Truly, what the fuck? Fnetishgraw.
It's the fuck.
It puts the future in side out.
It puts the future in.
It puts the future in, or else it gets the hose again. What's the hose filled with then? Fnetishgraw Dirigible Salve. Now I've got to spell dirigible.
Yum yum yum.
You can brush your teeth with it if you want to grow boats in the mouth.
Who doesn't?
1 in 10 dentist recommends having more boats in the mouth. It's a strong start to the day. Is this for? Put it on your cereal.
Put it on your cereal and it'll grow more cereal.
Put. That's it. Put. Fnetishgraw. Put.
Thank you for your sponsorship.
Yes, a check's in the mail, I assume. That's enough of that. Do you want to pull a question out? 7 minutes of Fnetishgraw.
Really?
Or as I call it, 7 minutes in heaven with Fnetishgraw.
Worst pizza topping. I tell you what the best pizza topping is. Fnetishgraw.
1 in 10 Italians want more dirigible paste on their boats. When you roast pepperoni, it kind of turns into a small boat. And that's how the Italians came to England.
Everyone was very small back then.
They were. We've only gotten bigger over time.
Don't ask how they killed the pigs
Killed the pigs.
to make the pepperoni.
Well, it was with Fnetishgraw.
We need to stop this now. Worst.
Okay, genuinely, do we? Or do we just keep digging with a spade made of Fnetishgraw?
It would be more of a spoon, concave, like your new face.
Concave like
You're
your
welcome.
face.
Say hi to the hubby and your spoon-faced kids. Because it doesn't just mush the face and it changes the DNA.
That's what those cats eat with the moon faces. The cats with the flat faces. They eat the runoff in the rivers.
The cats with the flat faces?
Cats with the flat faces. The cats, the
Like
fluffy
Grumpy
boys.
Cat?
Yeah, they look like they've been smacked in the face.
May they
with a
rest
frying
in
pan.
peace.
Yes, they look like they've been hit in the face with a flat wall. They're eating the runoff from the Fnetishgraw factory, and that's why they're flat on the face. But physically very appealing as a cat.
Really?
You could climb in them and row to Europe.
You shouldn't climb in cats.
Not without Fnetishgraw. Genuinely, do we need to stop with it? Or shall we? If we leave it for a few minutes, I think we can naturally bring it back in every now and again.
Okay.
And it still be kind of good?
Let's answer this question.
Yes. A ham in it.
Thumbtacks. Because they could get right in between your teeth.
Oh no, why would you do that?
Very bleedy gums.
Oh, worst.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So did you think that ham was the best pizza topping?
It's pretty good.
The best pizza topping is ham.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
Because it's never like, it's always pre-cooked ham that they've put on
Sure,
top of
yes.
a pizza.
No.
So it's just warm ham.
I was more just naming contenders, not necessarily saying it's
Okay, no.
definitely ham.
Okay, well, it's not the worst, but it's sure as shit ain't the best.
Because if it was best, I'd probably say something really frustrating like cheese, because if you don't have cheese, you've really fucked it.
Buffalo mozzarella.
Yes.
Made from buffaloes.
Yes. How
Just
do they get
sliced it off the flank.
the cheese flank?
Yeah.
The cheese flank is how Napoleon lost Waterloo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Prussians
If only he had
ate his cheese.
Fnetishgraw.
Ben, now, come on. Of course that's true. You don't even need to say it. We all know that if the armour of Napoleon's troops would have been polished with Fnetishgraw, we'd all be speaking French.
But we're not, because of Wellingtons,
Yes.
which were filled with what, Liam?
Ketchup.
No.
Fnetishgraw.
Yes.
Netchup. It's like burger sauce. You mix ketchup with Fnetishgraw. Fnetchup. Wellington's Fnetchup.
Do you put some pickles in there as well? Diced pickles?
Sure, then, that you get...
Burger sauce.
Oh.
You'd also need a little bit of mustard. What you were doing was more making a Mary Rose sauce for like a shrimp cocktail.
A Mary Rose Fnorse.
Yes.
Yes. And of course they had the Fnavelry, the Fnorses. They all got on the Fnorses and they charged the charge of the Fnight Brigade.
I think sand would be quite bad on a pizza.
On a pizza. Yes, okay, I've remembered what the question actually is. Sand would be awful because sand kind of...
Sand is just very small rocks and shells.
And yes, you can, if you get it too hot, you have glass then.
Yeah.
So if you roast the pizza too well, it's just a plane of glass over the top.
Which you could do cocaine off of if you
wanted
wanted to.
You could do cocaine off of if you wanted to.
Cocaine would be a good pizza topping if the pizza had glass on top first.
So if you, say, had a heart condition and were prone to fits of rage, cocaine would probably be the worst pizza topping. You could have... I think sand is a great contender. I think in low light, because Italian restaurants tend to be quite dim. Otherwise, they would be shrieking. So you've got to calm the Italians. Very shouty people, these Mediterraneans. You go low light. Everyone's calm.
Okay.
Have some ouzo.
All right.
Calm down. I'd say come at me, Italians, but you would.
No.
No, I like Italians. It's just that you invented racism, so in a dimly lit traditional family Italian restaurant, you could kind of convince yourself that a dusting of sand is
Parmesan?
Parmesan, thank
Which
you.
I would not want on my pizza.
No,
I'm not
okay.
a fan. It smells like sick.
Not a fan of Parmesan.
No. Or Parmesan.
Parmesan. The feet of a family member you thought was deceased. They're alive, they're here, and their feet are in your pizza. But they won't talk to you until you've eaten the pizza. And you miss them.
But
This was someone you loved dearly.
So why, okay, so why is Grandma not dead when I thought she dead? Surely I went to the funeral.
Yeah, you did.
So who was in the coffin?
Maybe no one. You carried the coffin.
Oh, then I need to eat Grandma's feet to find out this mystery.
She won't talk to you.
You said you said that she would talk to me
Once
after I'd eaten the feet.
she
So
won't answer your question.
I need to eat the foot pizza.
Because you have immediate questions like,
That's
what the hell, Grandma?
I mean, it's not a good pizza topping, but the whole scenario around it is intriguing.
Oh, certainly intriguing.
I'd watch that Netflix limited series.
Foot in a pizza. You call it 1 foot in a pizza, brackets, oh, a second foot. It was hidden under the cheese. End brackets. But the thing is, you don't know what she's going to say. Once you eat her feet and pizza, she might not want to. She can talk to you now, but she might not want to because you just ate her feet, mate.
But that was on her.
No.
She refused to talk to me unless I ate the
She
feet.
didn't refuse. She couldn't.
But how? Why?
Because of the constraints of the thing that I said.
Okay, so then that's your fault, not mine. I wanted
didn't make
to
it.
talk to Grandma. I thought she was dead.
Grandma. She was a fascinating woman. She was a spy in World War II, and we don't know which side for yet. Like, she's a intriguing woman.
Don't imply that my grandma was a Nazi.
I'm not the one that spied for the Germans, mate. Allegedly.
Anytime Liam mentions World War II, I sneeze.
You might want to know what he does when I mention World War III.
I bring out the plans.
That's what he calls his erection. Here's the battle plan. Zip. She won't talk to you because of the NDA until you eat her feet. And at that point, it could all go wrong. She could be like, well, I never died, but the thing is, I was never actually your gran. your gran died in the drowning incident. The Great Drowning of 42, where nearly everyone drowned. You haven't heard of the Great Drowning Incident of 1942?
So my grandma, who isn't my grandma,
Wow.
isn't my grandma because
Your grandma?
because my grandma died when she was 10.
No. That's the age of this woman you thought was your grandma. Your actual grandma, the parents of your parents, both of them, died in the Great Drowning Incident of 42. You ever been to East Hull?
No.
Not without your wellies. Or scuba equipment. Because it's underwater. Since 1942.
Itching powder would be quite bad on a pizza.
Itching in the throat, because what would you do? What would you do?
You'd have to have some more pizza, try and
Well,
shift
could
it.
you feel it if it's in your throat? Because you can feel... When you have something stuck in your throat, you can't... You can feel the physical mass, but you don't feel pain in the same way that you feel pain on your skin, do you?
All right. Fiberglass.
Yes, wonderful. Great.
That'd cost that. You'd feel that.
Asbestos, you'd be lovely and warm. Until you, and then, yes,
And then they couldn't cremate you.
you'd be warm for as long as you lived. 10 minutes.
Like setting yourself on fire.
Exactly. Many smaller pizzas,
Why would that be bad?
because you'd never eat all of them.
Doggy bag, take it home. Share with a friend.
They don't have a doggy bag small enough. These doggy bags are too big. They cannot contain this small pizza. Because it's so small it falls through the atoms of your hand.
Oh, well, no problem then.
No problem, but you haven't eaten the food waste bin.
It's in me.
Whoa.
It's just one with me.
Oh no. That's pretty weird. Worst pizza topping. Full frontal.
Full frontal?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go for fiberglass. Liam's going full frontal for the worst pizza topping.
You take a bite and the front half of your clothes just fall off, shortly followed by the back half of your clothes, because the front half was keeping them attached. And nude as a nude in this low-lit family pizza restaurant. One way to get kicked out of Jamie's Italian.
What, the two that are left?
Yeah. There's two Jamie's Italians left. One's full of nudes, and the other one's just shit.
Just shit.
Because they're all
tiny
shit. But the most notable thing about the other one is the nudes.
Okay.
Full frontal pizza. I think I'm quite unwell. Like
Really?
in the mind.
Really?
I'm just connecting dots. I'm just out here having a wonderful time, not worrying about the things that I say and the repercussions thereof.
I'm very happy that you're having a nice time.
Man, I just want to start a podcast with my friend where I have a nice time and every day he questions what he does with his life.
Well, I've got good news for you.
His life's all about
We're
achievable
doing it
goals.
now.
Happiness is just achievable goals. Speaking of achievable goals, this is a question from Ben's dad. How is Ben's dad?
Ben's dad.
Let's see if I remember to break out the theme tune. Now. Wow. What a good memory I have, maybe.
Or don't, maybe.
Or it's possible that was on the drive we lost, so maybe I remade it. I don't know.
Ben's dad's doing all right.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. If you were sent back to the Middle Ages, what thing would you reinvent and how? Okay.
So what time period is the Middle Ages?
It's
we think?
It's the betwixt one.
Right.
So
Betwixt what?
My like understanding of dates is all fucky. What I can tell you is the Middle Ages is like the medieval period. So it's after the Dark Ages.
All right, don't know when those are either.
Okay, I mean, does it matter what specific number these...
Well, yeah, because I'm not going to say, the wheel.
If I say it's the year 300, that's not going to help you.
When
so it's it's after the Dark Ages.
Edges.
And before the Renaissance. It's like the broadest period.
It began around 476 AD.
Yeah.
Following the great loss of power throughout Europe by the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
The Middle Ages span roughly 1,000 years.
It's a big block of time. It is the longest thing that we refer to as a period. So it goes from the Dark Ages, the fall of the Holy Roman Empire. So I think that's when people basically couldn't read, and it's called the Dark Ages because there's no notes. We don't really know what happened because no one wrote anything down because they couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes up to the Renaissance, which is when you get big bloody cathedrals and paintings and like orchestras and music. So we have wheels, we have husbandry, farming, we can do all of those things. People have just learnt to read, and they're going to get more creative with that writing. Storytelling is going to develop over that time. It's still a traditional monarchy. You still have like pitched battles. Cannons and guns won't be invented for a while, or maybe they are towards the end of that period. So it's mostly like cavalry and lances and shit. There's still probably disease.
All right.
Yeah, and it is quite a broad time period as well.
I know that there was no... it was called the Dark Ages because there weren't many scientific discoveries or advancements or anything like that. We just all sat for a while, or at least because there wasn't a huge amount. Given the fact it was 1,000 years, there wasn't a great amount of progress. No, the Dark Ages was before. Dark Ages, Middle Ages, Renaissance. And it's so the Dark Ages is, if you think about knights in shining armor, it's still kind of the same time, but you're kind of right. But from what I understand, and I could be wrong here, but what I believe it is that we don't know what happened because no one made notes. So it could have been full of science and crazy shit. We just don't know. Maybe they all blew up.
I do know
we have
no records.
There's a fun theory.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that's not provable.
Yes.
But probably easily disproven, but I don't know that bit. There was... So the reason that there was no notes or no record of this big time period was that one king or another decided that he wanted to be king when the year 1000 happened.
Okay.
But it was like the year 500 or 600 or something like that, so he just changed what year it was.
Great. Yeah.
So he just jumped like 500-600 years or something.
Yeah.
And that's why there's very little record, or it's just like time passed, signed a monk.
So it wasn't that there were no notes, it's just that he added 500 years.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. I love that as a theory.
I think it was one of the dubious theories from QI back when Stephen Fry was presenting it, so forgive me for not remembering all the names. And
it's the sort of thing that, like, so Holy Roman Empire was quite a large area. The only problem is that you have different empires and different continents. Like we didn't know what the Americas were. I'm sure we were aware of African continent and Asian and Middle East, but they would have. If the Holy Roman Empire or some European king decided, right, it's the year 500 now, I think it'd be quite easy to line it up with any number of Japanese, Mongolian, African
because
writings.
At some point we ended up with a global calendar, so all you would have needed to do was to make sure that you decided it before everyone else.
But what would have happened is someone would have gone, okay, you've started your calendar at this,
right?
Yes, because we still refer to we refer to dates now in accordance to when in our modern calendar they happened, which is why we have BC AD, right? So we're 2024 BC. So if you minus 1500,
We're AD.
excuse
BC
me,
was before Christ.
soz, I forgot when Jesus was. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I do see how that's maybe possible. And because people weren't really traveling, you couldn't get someone from Taiwan turn up and be like, your records are screwy. I was here 4,000 years ago and you didn't have sheep. So, like, there's no way to... I've been to Wales. Not a single fucking sheep. Okay. I quite like that. I would love to know how specifically we disprove it.
Do we want to do that instead of the question?
No.
Okay.
I want someone else qualified to do that.
So
for the love of God, we're going back in time and we're taking something to present as an invention.
No, it's what
No.
would we reinvent and how would we reinvent
Oh,
it?
excuse me. So we presumably have knowledge of something.
We know all that we know now.
Oh God,
I know, so that means we can't do like computers and
that's
shit.
too bad. Someone else should do this.
But what would we do? What would we create? Recreate?
Yes. So, and then it would just happen earlier.
I think the first ones. If you want, we want, right? Everyone died at around 30 then,
Yeah.
so we are old men.
But we wouldn't look like old men. We
We
would know
would be
we're 30.
giants.
We'd be tall, but they've encountered Vikings, so they know what a tall person is.
Yeah, but what are you, 6'2"?
I'm 6'1.5".
There you go.
Yeah.
So
I'm shorter than Ben said.
I'm shorter than I thought. I'm 6 foot.
Thorter. He's thorter than he's short.
But yeah, we'd still be pretty tall,
Yes.
even if they had seen the Vikings.
True.
But I think what we should do is try to make us live longer.
Okay.
So boiling water to get rid of diseases.
Great one. That's a good idea.
I think people laughed at people who first said that because it's get rid of the tiny demons. Get rid of those demons out of the water.
You gotta.
So I think that would be good.
Yeah.
So you'd want to try and become an advisor to someone powerful, and then you could like see what they're doing wrong and see if we could fix it with our modern brains.
How would you trick your way into like a respectable kingly court? Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Yeah, I'd bring some Ovaltine, and
You can't bring stuff.
it doesn't say you can't bring stuff. Presumably, we arrive in our clothes,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have Ovaltine in my pockets.
Okay.
I'm gonna ply the court guards with Ovaltine, and I'm like, "This is lovely." I'm like, "You're bloody welcome, champ. Can I talk to the king?" And like, "What do you want to talk to the king about?" Bloody Ovaltine. I'll say, "Right, you are. Let me in." I'm ever so sorry, Mr. King, because I'm formal. I do have Ovaltine, but that's not really why I'm here. I want to talk to you about boiling water and the good it can do to people and help them live longer. My pitch is that we don't tell all the people, we just tell your favourite people. And then we sit down and have a cup of Ovaltine, snuggle up, Netflix and kill. No, I tripped over my words there, but I'm sticking with it.
Oh no.
I was going to make a joke about Netflix back then being hand jobs, but no, Netflix and kill.
So you're just wanking each other off and murdering.
Yeah, you're all talking about murder.
I would like to go, once we've done all of this, once we're busy mates with the king,
Mr. King.
I would then like to go and meet the Vikings, and this is just changing history now.
Yes.
And encourage and get someone to write down their verbal stories, because we don't have an awful lot of them.
Right, okay.
The ones that we do have are pieced together from like 2 texts.
Yes.
Because it was all an oral tradition.
Yes.
And so I'd want that written down. Maybe the same with Africa, because
Yeah,
there
true.
was because that was all passed down orally instead of written and historically. I'd
Blowjobs.
dentistry would be good if you go in with blowjobs.
I don't think either of us would be the ones to promote dentistry because we don't know how to do it.
You brush your teeth.
But what
You
do
could
brush it
you
with?
could introduce a toothbrush.
But then we'd presumably have to fabricate toothbrushes en masse.
Right, but a stick with a bit of rag round it is better than not doing it.
Suppose, yeah, that's true. We could tell them that the library's going to burn down and make sure that doesn't happen. I can't remember which library it is.
The Library of Alexandria.
Sure.
I don't think that would be
Bill
where we
Yates.
were.
How do you know where we are?
Well, somewhere with a king, where they at least speak some form of English.
Oh, no.
I'd hope that we'd be understood,
I mean, like,
because it ain't going to be
Yeah.
like it is in the telly. Oh, verily, sir, I doth come to you with my proposal of a gummy blowjob, sir.
I thought you were going to say a gummy bear. Like,
No,
ooh,
gummy blowjob,
gummy
sir.
blowjob. Verily, she gummed my balls. Verily, indeed.
'Tis the proper way, sir. 'Tis the proper way. You know, it would be a very difficult thing to do. When was Shakespeare?
This sort of, latterly, sort of towards the end of this thing, I think.
There was a 1 in front of the years, wasn't there?
Yeah,
So it would be the end of that.
yeah. When was Stratford
Placed upon Avon.
placed upon Avon? When did Avon receive its Stratford? It used to be underneath, but now it's up on. Shit, I think that is why it's up on the Avon, because it's the River Avon, right?
Yeah.
Stratford up on Avon.
Yeah.
I just made the joke boring. Take that.
Like Clacton upon Thames.
Ah.
Something like that anyway.
Wow.
Would you want to be at the beginning or at the end of the Middle Ages? Because at the end there's the Renaissance.
Yeah. And I could be a real Renaissance man. That'd be a treat.
You've got the hair.
I've got the hair. The later we go, yes, obviously there's fewer things to invent, but we have a greater likelihood of surviving, being able to speak a recognisable form of English. So yeah, kind of.
Then we can go and party with the French and the Italians.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go to France. I'm gonna hook up with You know exactly where I'm going.
Are you going to go and invent the guillotine?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, much less killy.
Whoops.
I was going to befriend a Dauphin.
And make potatoes?
Yeah, man. I'm going to... Listen up, Dauphin, you little bastard. We're going to cut up some potatoes real small. You got some garlic? Oh, in the pockets. Lovely, Dauphin. You will be king. Squeeze a cow onto these potatoes. Rub the garlic in. Lovely bit. What should we call these, Dauphin? No, not crinkly boys. No, think more about who you are. Ooh, Dauphinoise.
Gregory potatoes, exactly.
Timmy's Ridges. No, I think we'll... what if it was
Maybe
named after... What if it was
Dauphinoise.
like princely boys, princely spuds, perhaps? Dauphinoise potatoes.
Very good.
Prince Timmy.
Wee.
No! Splish splash. We wrongly made Dauphinoise.
Good.
What was that? Timmy's Crinkles?
Timmy's Crinkles. You could, How? Right, no, because I can't make cake that good.
Ah.
I was going to say I could go and make Marie Antoinette some cake.
Oh. Well, she didn't want to eat the cake. She wanted them to eat cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she must have had cake.
I think the thing is that these people wouldn't have had cake.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she had it.
Yes.
Because it was fancy. But I don't think I would be fancy enough. I don't think I could make a fancy enough cake for Marie Antoinette. I can make a very good lemon drizzle.
Cakes might have been
But I
shit
don't think
back
she'd be
then. I
nappy.
think you could do a... what was the cake we always used to have? A Debden. You ever had a Debden?
What's a Debden cake?
Debden cake is fucking witchcraft, man. You get your various dry ingredients, flour, sugar, cocoa. You mix it all together, and just the dry ingredients, you put them in a tray. And then on top of that, you pour, I think it's milk and water, and then you put that in the oven, and it comes out a cake. And it's magical. It is a really genuinely lovely cake.
Okay.
So your dry ingredients, I think not the sugar, I think you put the water, I think it is just water, not milk, and then you sprinkle like a few layers of sugar on top of that.
And what was it called? Dresden cake?
Debden.
Debden cake.
Debden cake.
Okay.
You put it in the oven and it's like proper fudgy. The top is kind of caramelized because of the sugar on the top. It's a full-on, fully formed cake-ass cake.
Cake-ass cake.
Cake-ass cake. That was the original WAP. But CAC just wasn't a good song, CAC. Get a bucket and a map, it's a cake-ass cake. Get a fork and a rake, it's a cake-ass cake.
Well,
Debden.
Dad, I hope you're very pleased with the amount of cake-ass cake and gummy blowjobs that your question has...
You're bloody welcome. Isn't your son doing well, considering? Yeah, this guy. It's him, he's grown up now. He used to be small. He was in your balls for a while. Then he popped out like a gremlin coming out of an acorn. And then over the years, he's gotten bigger, and now he's this big.
This big!
And he's saying fuck shit on the internet with his friend.
Yeah. Oh, friend.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Yes, we have no bananas.
See fucking Cypress Hill, like, hooked up with the London Symphony Orchestra 20 years later.
Hooked up?
Yeah.
Like they banged?
Like a gummy blowjob from Cypress Hill. They fucking played, I think, Royal Albert Hall, recently with the London Symphony Orchestra because of that joke on The Simpsons.
I did see a thing that I saw that a band had done a thing with an orchestra because of The Simpsons. Didn't know the band, didn't know the reference.
You've seen the Homerpalooza episode.
More information.
Homer gets shot in the tummy with a cannonball.
Yes.
And he goes on tour with Thingy Palooza, Lollapalooza, and he meets the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins, Homer Simpson smiling politely. Peter Frampton is there, someone steals his sub, Cypress Hill get high and book the London Symphony Orchestra. And then they're like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And like, Marge really likes it. So 20 years later, it actually happened.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're at time.
Yeah,
sorry,
how many-
I fucking just sort of passed out for a
You
little
did
bit
just
there.
freeze.
I was trying to think, like, is 39 an acceptable number of minutes? And that is totally what we're aiming for. Ben, where are you online?
I'm on the Instagram at Spike Pearson, Pierson. There's food that I make, food that I eat, and birds in the garden.
Wow. I'm at LT Guitarist, eats the music I eat, and the birds in my gendarmes, French police. It's music and stuff. I've got French on my brain. Convo Hat Podcast for the podcast. Come hang out with us on YouTube. We do the live streams. When are the live streams, Ben?
First Sunday of every month.
Thank you, Ben.
1 till
when we finish.
1 till 3-ish, sometimes
3-ish.
a bit later.
We run out of steam sometimes.
That's Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich does mean time. Was that a question? If Greenwich means time, what dimensions do other places mean? That was a really fucked question from a while ago. I like that one. Yes, Ben, I have 3 heckin' titles to choose from. Functional Bum. Fnetishgraw Dirigible Salve. A thing we'd forgotten about. And Timmy's Crinkles.
Fnetishgraw Dirigible Salve. It sort of has to be, doesn't
It
it?
kind of has to be. That was big 20 minutes ago.
It was big 20 minutes. It just goes to show how quickly fads can come and go.
Yeah, let's Fnetishgraw Dirigible Gummy Blowjob. You're welcome. Subtitle: TV's Crinkles.
Why not? We should have taken Fnetishgraw to the Middle Ages with us. It would have solved everything and we would have been kings.
God damn it. If only it was real. If only we were real. If only time
Wasn't running out.
Oh yeah, we are at time though, so